Before I come to that point, we need first of all to establish, why do people conflict? In the beginning, everybody was created autonomous. I said I'll be making a lot of references in psychology and also in Bible, because psychology is the study of the mind, and the mind is actualized through words. Everybody was created unique, and everybody was created as an individual. No two people are alike, and that is where the challenge is.
Hakuna watu ambao wanafanana wawili eti.
Hakuna. Yani kila mmoja ameumbwa kivyake.
Kwa dunia nzima hii.
And the challenge of that is the original mandate. Everybody was created to rule, have dominion. Genesis 1:28 says God blessed them. He first of all did it, and then he spoke to them. He spoke and he said, now that you are blessed, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. So become, and on basis of the foundation of becoming, now you can have dominion. So you are, you become, then you have. This is the foundation of all conflict. Why? Because he was told, have dominion over what? Everything else in the created cosmos, in the terrestrial world, but never over any other person. So psychologically you are wired to dominate. The challenge comes when now you want to dominate another dominion.
Yes. Now another person.
I'm a king. You see, dominion is a reserve for kings and rulers. So I'm a king, and I have that mandate, have dominion. And then you are a king, and you have that mandate, have dominion. Now when two kings meet, they act as equals. The challenge comes when you start now infringing on my territory. Because kings reign over kingdoms, and kingdoms expand by territory conquest. So you expand your territory through conflict. You see now? So when God said, you are, so become, then you will have. In the process of becoming, that is where the challenge is. And that's where most conflicts occur.
Okay.
The mindset of every human being is to conquer and expand. You see, today we are talking about conflict management. It means that someone somewhere, or everybody, encounters conflict at one point or another.
Oh, yes.
And if you are not able to surmount that conflict, you are not able to deal with that conflict and overcome it, then it means you are under dominion of the conflict.
Oh.
And
so
that
conflict is really dominating me.
Yes.
Over here.
And that is territory that you are ceding. So he says, look, Genesis 1:28, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it. The word subdue it denotes conflict, denotes aggression, denotes as you expand. Before this facility was put here, there was something else. And then now this needed to be here. So what happened? There was a conflict, right? And some mediation and management had to take place so that either one cedes territory and the other takes over.
Yes.
Or now we negotiate to see how we will agree to disagree.
Yes. Okay.
Right? When do people have conflicts? I started by laying that foundation, and I said the quest for autonomy. For example, you are a media person, and your quest is to expand and be the best that you are.
Yes.
Why? Because you have a kingdom assignment where you are. As you become better and better, you are actualizing yourself as a king in your area or in your territory. And Jesus said, occupy till I come. Actually, the version that is in Luke says, do business till I come. So every time it's a transaction. And you know, the autonomy and the quest for autonomy means that people have different interests. My interests are not your interests.
Yes.
My values are not your values.
Yes.
My actions are not your actions. My views are not your views.
Yes.
Now, when you start now imposing your views on mine, that is the beginning of conflict already, because now it means that we are not in agreement.
Yes.
I have that wiring to dominate.
What about when I feel I am right?
But everybody's right. That is a perception and viewpoint.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
the challenge comes here. Right and the true are two different things.
Yes.
You may be right,
But I'm not.
but in your own right.
Yes.
And that is why it is your right. Yeah.
Okay.
But what is the truth? Truth is the original fact, the original information.
Yes.
And that does not change. But now each of us perceive differently. Perception in psychology is defined as how we interpret our environment. Now, if I look at you, if I'm a pastor, I'll see a potential member of the church. Now I'm a lecturer. I look at you, and I'll be wanting to recruit you to come and study psychology. I look at you, and maybe I'm a business person, and I'm seeing a business partner. I want to advertise with MCI.
Yes, yes.
And it's the same person. It's you.
Yes, but with different sides based on...
Great. So you see, Paul says, we know in part. We understand in part. We speak in part. But truth is the whole. And he says, when truth comes, when the whole comes, then whatever is in part is taken away.
Good.
Now, until that time, your opinion is the only thing you have with no strings attached.
Yes.
My opinion is the only thing I have with no strings attached.
Wow.
Everything in between is negotiated business.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I feel I'm right, it does not mean I'm right. It's my perceptions, my perceived idea.
That these